Hi guys. Hey Jack. Hey Tim.
Hello.
Hi Mel, how's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
Very good.
Very excited for another AMA.
Yeah, I'm so excited, and thank you to everyone who has tuned in. It's very exciting to get our second AMA kicking off. We're going to be talking to Jack about some NFTs today, which is very exciting. He is our head of studio at Chronicle. So Jack, welcome. You're a bit of a newbie. Although it's only our second week. What am I talking about? So yeah, did you want to just start by telling us a little bit about yourself? How did you end up at Chronicle? What's your career been like to date, I suppose?
Yeah, so my career has been all sporadic, all over the place. But I met Tim back in 2013, I would say, like late 2013. And we were working together on a book he was writing at the time, and then that snowballed into working on some Jurassic fan, what would you call it, like a website, to do an internal viral website to do with the new movie Jurassic World that was in production. And that was just a fan project that then got picked up by Universal, and we did an actual great job at doing that they brought us back for the next film after that. So me and Tim have been working on Jurassic for a number of years, but then working on other projects together in between all that. There's plenty of interviews out there with us two that goes a lot deeper into that, so I don't want to repeat myself too much. But then Tim approached me with Chronicle and said, like, do you want to head the studio and creating NFTs for this? And that seemed like something I had never really heard of an NFT before or anything like this. And it was a whole new frontier for me. And I just really, really enjoyed the idea of heading the Chronicle studio and diving into this. And so I'm an animator myself. So like I do, someone, I can't remember who, someone once described to me as autodidactic. So I teach myself everything. I'm like always learning, but I'm my best teacher is what they say. Doesn't mean I'm perfect though. But like, yeah, so I was like, yeah, this seems like a challenge. I'll do this. And so far so good, I suppose. It's been really cool. But yeah, self-taught animator, producer and creative director of many different projects over the years. I've always got my fingers in many different pies, as the saying goes.
So you didn't do uni or anything like that? You just
I left college with very barely any marks whatsoever. I was always drawing and stuff and doing my own thing even at school, and then left there and I don't know. I guess I communicated my love of Jurassic's predominantly out there when I was in my 20s, but also other things that I'm a fan of, and I'm also, as I was saying, like I learn different crafts and stuff and always try and do things, and then I gain the experience. So I might not have gone off to university or anything and got like a degree, a bit of paper that says I'm good at something, but I've actually got stuff to show that I've done stuff, or I'm knowledgeable on something, or I'm willing to learn something. So yeah, it's one of those things where, not to go too much into my personal life, but my wife went off to university and was very successful at that and got a career and everything out of that. And we were both opposite ends of the spectrum. And it was nice to be like, you know, you can say to people, yeah, if you choose not to go there, you can still be successful at something. So it's all about communication and putting yourself out there and willing to be open-minded and learn new things.
Yeah, I think that's amazing, because I just couldn't imagine, learning how to be an animator by myself. So very impressive. So did you and Tim literally just meet over the internet, or did I misunderstand that?
Yeah,
I think Tim. Fans.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, my memory actually, because we've been working together for so long, my memory is a little bit foggy here, Tim. So you might need to clear it up a little bit. So I remember you listening to a podcast that I was on. Was that with Colin Trevorrow, the director of Jurassic World, when I was on that podcast?
Yeah, I think that's probably it. That goes back to very early 2013 from memory.
Yeah, and I think I remember seeing your name on. It was predominantly Twitter at the time. That's a lot where a lot of the Jurassic Park fan community was based. And I remember seeing your name, and we probably exchanged words back then, talking about Jurassic in some form or another. then once I did an interview with the director of the new film with a guy called Sam Phillips, who ran a Jurassic Park podcast. And that was the world's first interview the director of the new Jurassic gave anyone about being a part of Jurassic. So he didn't go to like magazines or anything. He came to the fans, which we were like, wow, that's really cool. And that got very popular. So I think then you reached out to me via that because you'd seen that I did some digital artwork and stuff and you wanted some help with some illustrations. So then we just got talking that way. And, you know, we haven't lost communication since, luckily.
No, definitely not. And yeah, like you were saying earlier that we did the fan experience for Jurassic, and it was actually Universal that kind of organized that trip over to LA, and that's where we actually met in person for the first time. So that was really cool.
Yeah,
and been friends and chatting together ever since. So it's really great to have Jack on Chronicle and all of his expertise with brands in the studio helping us out.
And Tim knows that like we talk about Jurassic a lot because that's how we like met, and that's you know, our bread and butter back in the day. But like Tim knows that my focus when I'm deep in the fandom of Jurassic, so I'll talk to the fans and I will bring up subjects that they want to talk about, or even controversial subjects that bring up a lot of like debate in the fandom. And I've always said this, that to me, that's the best way of getting people's opinions to rise to the surface. So then you can kind of navigate, okay, well, the majority of fans think this, but there is this small group of fans who think this, and you kind of engage with them and learn what the landscape is. And from that, over the years, I've learned and I've noticed that in a lot of fandoms, you get very similar avenues of direction with what fans want, what they cater to, and like the old fans who grew up with something versus the new fans who are just getting into it, and the new thing that the older fans might not like as much is the thing that the new fans being introduced to. So that's like how they're getting in. So there's this, I think the word I'm looking for is dichotomy of all these different types of fans in the same single fandom. It's like, how do you navigate that? How do you find what is going to appeal to the most amount of fans, and also cater to those very first fans who came on, who kickstarted the whole thing, because they're the ones who made it a fandom to begin with. So it's navigating that, and that's what I've learned through Jurassic and other fandoms that I'm a part of, and that's what Tim, I think, wanted me to be involved with Chronicle, because we're trying to be very fan focused here.
I was about to say, yeah.
And we often talk about differences between us and competition, and I think that's one thing that Chronicle has, and its expertise. You know, like as Jack mentioned, our work going back to, you know, Jurassic and immersive experiences with the fandom dates back to 2013, 2014. And, you know, that's like 3 to 4 years before CryptoKitties. And so you sort of think in the context of experience as well as, you know, deep diving into brands and fandoms. That's one of the key things that Chronicle can offer, which is great for us.
Yeah, it's always trying to find those. I usually bring up this saying, so excuse any people listening who follow Chronicle who might have heard me say this before in our previous AMAs, like back in the beginning. It's always trying to find that thing that the fan didn't know they wanted. So it's like something comes out and they're like, I didn't even know I wanted this, but this is like exactly what I want. And it's finding that magic. It's not even lightning in a bottle, because I feel like it's something to grab. There's lots of it. It's just trying to find them all and trying to find that peak thing.
So on that then, I guess maybe you can sort of describe the process of what you do at Chronicle, you know, the process between the brands, the back and forth, which some people might not realize you have to go through. Why don't you just give us a bit of a breakdown on the ins and outs?
So we have Doug on our team who will reach out to brands and set up meetings and stuff. And then I'll be invited on to talk to them and gauge how they see their sort of NFTs coming to life. Like what ideas do they have? Because for me, we always have to remember that, you know, we're bringing other people's brands to us. So it's what they think first, what their ideas are, that's key to finding out like where they sit. And then going from the sort of fan perspective, maybe bring up something that can jive. So we have this back and forth with the IP owners on what they want and what they expect and what they want to avoid and all this sort of stuff. And then we go come back and we create some concepts and some ideas, and we'll come up with sometimes, and it varies depending on what the IP is. Sometimes we'll make some really elaborate, because it depends on obviously what the IP actually is, some really elaborate concepts to be like, this is what you could do potentially with your IP, because it's so vast and massive. The scope is like, we could go anywhere with it. Or there's something where it's so kind of, I don't want to really use the word small, but it's like a smaller vector of attack, for lack of a better word, where you go, this is the obvious thing to do here, and it's not even with your IP, it's not even necessarily low-hanging fruit. It's like, that is obviously the thing we have to do. So it's like that is obviously the winning ticket. So we have IPs where it's you can see it's very collection based, so you want to make a lot of collectible versions of these things, whereas other IPs, it's kind of so broad in scope. You're like, let's do our own narrative with this. Let's tell a story with these. Instead of just doing a collection, let's actually do something that has a start, middle, and end that the fans can follow and add to their experience of this IP that they absolutely love. So they're the sort of concepts we do. And then obviously if we have another call with them, we have another back and forth, and then we finalize which route we're going to go down. And then once that's established, we'll then start making the NFTs for real. And they'll send us their assets. They'll send us all stuff, like with Paddington, for example. They sent us all the original scans of all the drawings by Ivor Wood, who's Ivor Wood's the illustrator who we're focusing on at the moment with Paddington as our first wave of collections. And some of this artwork has rarely been seen, but what they sent over was like the high quality scans. So you can zoom right in and see all the pencil marks and all the pen strokes and everything. It's beautiful stuff. But then I take that to our animator, and we then go, okay, let's bring this to life. So that was my idea for Paddington. It was like, we had all these 2D artwork, and we were thinking of doing just like simple at the beginning, like simple, or showing it off in like an art gallery of like classic drawings. And then one of the things that piqued the Paddington team's interest is something I came up with, was like, what if these actually came to life? Like, what if instead of we're seeing Ivor Wood's classic artwork, but obviously deep fans of that will have probably seen that before, but like casual fans might not have, which makes it more rarer. But in order to tap into those deep fans and appeal to everyone, give them something they didn't know they want, is you've got this Ivor Wood artwork, but you've never seen it look 3D and come to life and actually have Paddington's personality really shine through. So you can get that in a 2D image, of course, but now we're getting it where he's alive in a new way that no one's ever seen before, which then the Paddington team loved, and that's what we're going for. So now all the Paddington NFTs are alive, and they're not just static. Our animator Manuel on our team, he's a 3D animator, and this was a challenge. I was like, right, we're now going to do 3D animated 2D images, and he was like, okay. So I've challenged him, and he's knocked it out of the park. But this is something he was learning as he was going, which was amazing. And he's now just he's learned a complete new skill from this. But that's how innovative the Chronicle team is. If I have to blow our own trumpet a little bit.
Well, I love them as well. So
yeah. But then so we send those back to the IP owners. We get approvals. We have their notes back, any changes they want to make, all that sort of stuff, and then we finalize the NFT, and then we have it ready to go. So it could be a long process, but it's worth the trouble when you get to the end product.
I was about to say, like, roughly, so once you've, figured out your direction, you've got an idea of what you're doing, how long does it actually take to create an NFT?
From the moment, let's go from the moment we have our direction and everything, and then we start actually making the NFTs, it can be like a couple of weeks. It's not even that long to like get it and it all depends on, obviously it all depends on like how clear the direction actually is. As Tim will vouch, I'm a person who likes to know my boundaries, like what can I do? Because if it's so open and it's just you can do anything, that's fun, but it then might not feel like what it should be, especially when it's contained to an IP that has an established brand and established expectations from the fandom. So like the clearer the vision from us and the IP owners, like on agreement, the quicker the process really. So it always helps.
Great. Okay, well, Tim, there's a few questions from the community for you. If you'd like to get started with some of those.
Yeah, I guess we can probably mention just before going to the questions, the facts that we have a drop coming tomorrow. We want to talk about that.
Yeah.
And maybe a sneak peek. So I guess I'll let Jack take it over. But again, the studio has been very hard at working with the Paddington team at the moment. We've got our second sort of rare item drop that's coming tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. It's the third Paddington NFT, but the second rare. So,
yes, the second rare. Yeah.
Yes, and so obviously people know that Paddington's number one love, probably outside of his family, is marmalade. And one of the things we wanted to focus on in this one is Ivor Wood had done all these drawings of kind of props or things that Paddington loved, like these items. And so the jar you're seeing there is the drawing by Ivor Wood, who back in the day, and then the bear is also taken from another piece of artwork that they did, and then Manuel has brought it all to life. Our in-house studios brought it all to life, and it was my idea to have this marmalade sat on the side and have his personality come out a little bit more, where he's like peeking over the side of the table. It's almost like you can kind of hint that it might not even be his marmalade, but he's having a sneaky little scoop with his paw and getting a bit messy as well. And it's one of those things where when you think of Paddington, most people think of marmalade. So we had to have an NFT that sort of celebrates the marmalade of Paddington. So that's the angle with this one here.
Right, and we'll obviously announce the drop of that tomorrow beforehand, so everyone can get kind of lined up and ready for it. And so I guess people can expect some more details on our social media channels tomorrow.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And just to mention, it does have sound, but you can't hear it right now. So yeah.
All Chronicle NFTs, have for the most part have sound.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very exciting. Well done. I love it. All right, Tim, we'll get started on a couple of these questions if you're ready.
Okay. Hopefully there's someone in it for Jack as well, but yes, I'd love it.
Yeah, well, whoever wants to answer, we've got the community questions, so whoever wants to pipe up, obviously that's fine. So first up, when are you guys thinking to have the mobile app ready?
Yeah, so we actually released an announcement over the weekend. We released two announcements over the weekend, but one of them was related to mobile in a way. That is that sometime later today, we will be updating the Chronicle web platform to be mobile friendly. And so that means that basically with any smartphone device, you'll be able to use your Safari, Chrome browser, whatever you're comfortable with from your smartphone, and you'll be able to access Chronicle and have the same full functionality that you would have on a desktop computer. So that's the first major announcement on that. For anyone that's actually been following the Chronicle community, especially on Telegram, you'd probably be familiar that we've been kind of going back and forth with sort of the community on updates with regarding the future development of the platform, including mobile apps. So yes, we have been working on an iOS and an Android Chronicle app. I can say that the Android or the Google Play app has been approved by the Google Play Store, and we will set a date for the official release of that app. So that's really, really good news. That's a world kind of exclusive announcement on that. Yes, we have the Google Play Chronicle app. That will be coming very shortly. So again, stay tuned on our social media channels for the official announcement for that.
Yeah, we'll definitely be announcing those. So don't worry, we'll be letting you know as soon as it happens. All right. So next question we have, they want to know, will we see NFT drops where there's a set of different characters and rarity, just like Pokemon cards, for example? That may be a Jack question.
Yeah. You guys can hear me okay, all right?
Yeah.
Worried. Yeah, okay, cool. I was worried my mic could just cut out there. Yeah, definitely. The thing about our NFT drops as we go forward is, especially when you're dealing with something with lots of characters, obviously that gives us lots of scopes for many NFTs that cover the wide range of things. But when it comes to the future of like gamification, there's things where you can have your different characters, but there's an idea in the future of like, well, how do we evolve collectibles? These are digital collectibles. They're not just pieces of cardboard that you collect like Pokemon cards back in the day. These things should hopefully in the very near future be able to interact with each other and change and do things and be alive, as the way I like to put it. So yes, we definitely will be dealing with some IPs in the near future that deal with many different characters in specific collections. Obviously we know like Paddington, there's Paddington, it's like he's the focus, that little bear. There's not like millions of different types of evolved Paddingtons that can interact. There's different eras of that character that we can make collections of, but that's still one character, whereas all these different characters in other IPs, like for example Pokemon, we've definitely got stuff on the cards for that kind of thing. So just look out and stay tuned. Keep your eye out.
Great. Okay. So next question. So should also mention actually, so everyone whose question we answered tonight, you will also be receiving a prize, and we'll be touching base with everyone. So yeah, your congrats to everyone who has a question answered. All right, so next one, we've got to date, I like all the NFTs, qualities and partners are the best. Will we be able to see the numbers of remaining NFTs? Right now, just be able to see the total NFTs and rarity with other details. It would be best to know how many more NFTs are pending so that I don't miss out on buying.
Yeah, it's more of a technical question. Yeah, so we have the ability to do that. It will be, so yes, we will do this. It will be introduced in an upcoming release. Probably just want to have a few more NFTs in the store before we roll that out. But yes, it's certainly in the works. So yeah, good question. Put it down to roadmaps.
Yeah, and that's something that we'll do a little bit more updating on social media too. So we'll make sure that we keep everyone notified on that. Okay, so next up, what are your target brands to get licensed as NFTs? And what are your thoughts on getting anime NFTs like Naruto, DBZ, One Piece, or even Studio Ghibli movies, since your competitor, Vivi, is heavily focused on the Western industry?
Yeah, I just wanted to cover this from a sort of a higher level, that what's Chronicle as a brand trying to target, and what kind of brands can you expect to see on Chronicle? And I think at the end of the day, look, we're primarily after well-known, beloved brands, international brands, sort of family-friendly, focused across film, television, animation, broader entertainment, games and toys initially, and then from that kind of expanding further, and basically anything that will have a large fandom and a large following. So yeah, love the ideas there about anime and games, and yeah, sure enough, if there's the opportunity for us to have a chat with a representative from a big brand, like we're doing now already behind the scenes, then yeah, for sure we'll continue to do that. So yeah, good ideas.
I think if we got Studio Ghibli, I'd be over the moon.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan, and there's a lot. I'm one of the deep fans of Studio Ghibli, so I'd be able to help right there.
Actually, just one of the comments, Jack. Someone's asked if they could maybe get an idea of some of your previous projects. So I don't know if you'd like to share something about them.
I could say one I'm working on right now, which is a personal project I'm doing. It's an animated web series called Dino Defenders Extreme. It's a 5-episode web series, but I'm actually targeting doing gluing them all together at the end to make like a feature film. And it's like a motion comic, but it's not just like some some of the stills in the animation, like there's no animation in one still, and the next still will look like a Disney movie with like 3D animated backgrounds and full 2D animation. It's just me learning all different types of animation and trying to get my head around things. And yeah, it's on YouTube. You just look up Dino Defenders Extreme, you'll find it. Episode 4 is currently in the works right now, and that's the one that will answer why it's called Dino Defenders Extreme. It's kind of like my love letter visually to the 90s Saturday morning cartoons, but it's not necessarily aimed for kids. And it's trying to tell a different, unique story that I don't think people have seen before. So that's one at the moment. And then in the past, myself and Tim, we've wrote a script for a film idea that I had, which is currently sitting on a shelf waiting for that magical day where we can go out there with it and share it to the world. But yeah, we're always doing stuff like that. So I'm always writing, and if people know me, they'll know I'm always doing something.
Yeah, I actually shared your web series, so on our Instagram and Facebook and Twitter as well. So
yeah, that was the trailer for episode 4, which has the nice this December date, but I am not meeting that date. This like there's so much animation and there's so much time, and obviously I'm a new dad, so I'm like looking after the baby, and I've got Chronicle, so I've got it's gone from being up there of my priorities to being like I can only do it when I can do it. So but I'd rather it be done right than rushed. So that December date, just ignore that. It will come out when it comes out. But yeah, it should be a lot of fun for people. And I do live streams on my YouTube channel every Saturday 9 till 12 p.m. UK time, where you can actually watch me painting it live. So I show all the spoilers and everything. I'm just making it. And there's there must be over 3 weeks worth of footage on my YouTube channel of me making this cartoon. Like, just if you want behind the scenes, that's there, and people can talk to me.
I was just about to say that's the kind of thing that I would love to share. So
yeah, well, that's
let me know when you're ready.
It's something on YouTube and on social media I've just not really seen. You see a lot of people playing video games, they stream video games and stuff, but I've never really seen it, unless I'm just not looking hard enough. I haven't really seen anyone streaming making a cartoon series from scratch. So yeah, well,
maybe even I'd love to get a behind the scenes NFT at some point.
Yeah, maybe
that could happen. Even if it's just
a 3 hour long NFT,
like a time lapse.
That's a good idea.
Cool. Okay, so the best question will be receiving our brand new Paddington NFT drop. Tim, did we want to talk about this now? We announce on Twitter.
Yeah. So is this the last question, or one of them? I think. Okay, we'll
yeah, this is our last one. Yeah,
last one. Okay, we'll probably be cross-chain. There are so many advantages to being DST, and yes. So the answer is yes. We actually put together a bit of a sneak peek, or high-level sneak peek, on what we're working on the other day. So I think that we were talking about, kind of what's coming up in the next few weeks to next, month or so. We talked about things like, staking incentives, DEX listings, which we both announced, by the way. So we did announce that we have staking back on PoolX, which is a KuCoin staking program. We announced a Sushi Swap trading pair over the weekend as well. Bridging, yes. So the answer to everyone's question is yes, XNL will be bridged. We're just working out the technical requirements and landscape of what that will look like right now. But yeah, you can expect very soon that yes, there will be a XNL token on another blockchain network. So stay tuned for that.
Great. Very exciting. Okay, so yes, that was officially the last question. My bad, I jumped the gun on that one. So congrats to everyone who had their questions answered. We will be in touch to give you your NFTs. There will be one who gets the brand new Paddington Marmalade, and you also, the other 4 will get the Paddington Ivor Wood. So Tim, are you wanting to announce now, or what are we thinking?
Yeah, we could go through, Jack. I mean, out of the 5 questions that we had to answer today, was there any that we want to think about for as the winner? Who had the best question? Yeah,
I have
which one?
It's the question that we've gotten a lot that I want to say is the winner. It's the one where they ask, like, are you going to put the countdown of how many NFTs you've got left? Because I've seen that question so much that I feel like, you know, maybe we need to reward these people somehow.
Let's do it. All right. So who was that? Was Shantanu Dodo, I think. No. Yeah, there we go. That's it.
Yeah,
yep.
This one.
This one.
Yeah.
This is the winner. Okay, cool. Well, congratulations to Shantanu. I hope I pronounced that right.
Well done.
Yeah.
That's
First recipient of tomorrow's drop. That's pretty cool.
super exciting. I'm jealous. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Jack and Tim. And let you enjoy your evening, Tim. Jack, I guess you can enjoy the rest of your day now.
I'm going back to work. Today has been a very busy day with the behind the scenes of creation of NFTs. I've had a lot going on today. Like, everyone's sending me stuff at once. And I was like, oh, great. This is awesome. Seeing some really cool stuff. So
great. Love to hear that. Can't wait to see them.
Yeah, there's even stuff you two don't know I've received. I haven't sent you yet. So after this call.
Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.